Hello, welcome to a new video of mine. So today actually we won't have a normal lesson which teaches you German. I mean, okay, there are some German sentences and words which you can learn today, but that's not the main goal of this video because in this video I want to introduce my method to you of learning a language, and you can use it of course for German, for learning German, but also for any other language because yeah, the method is the same. For those of you who also speak Russian, maybe you already saw my video yesterday. It's the same diagram, it's the same method, but right now I'm just translating it into English because someone asked me to. By the way, if someone of you wants me to, I don't know, just deal a certain topic in my videos or something, just text me. I will just make a video if you ask me to do anything. If you don't know anything or if you don't understand something about the German language, you always can write me. I can always make a video to explain it to you. Or if you want to know something about Germany, then please text me and I will record a video. Yeah, because I want to do it for you. I want you to enjoy these videos, and I want that you, yeah, just improve your German from these videos, or just yeah, improve your knowledge about Germany. All right, so let's start with our topic, learning a new language. Well, at first, there's of course the will. I want to learn a new language, and it always sounds very good in your head, but it's not always that easy because you kind of need to, yes, have a straight will, and you have to really study a lot, and you have to find time, and yeah, you have to find someone to practice with and everything. And how you can do it the best, this is what I will explain you today. Okay, so as I said before, the first step is just that you think about learning a new language. Second one is, I think it's a very important one, is like set a goal and get motivation, because if you don't have a goal and you just start to learn something, then maybe it will be very difficult for you to just keep it up and just to learn it for a long time, because it's really tiring if you're just studying without a goal. It's very difficult. So one of my favorite goals is when I start to learn a language. I did this, for example, when I studied Chinese. Is that I said, okay, in this kind of time, like in maybe 6 months or a year or only 3 months, it doesn't matter. You will register for your first language test, or maybe even you skip the first level and already apply for the second test. It's a very good goal because it also like will make you kick you in your own ass, because you pay for the test, you actually register for it, and it also makes you to push and to learn the language. If you say, okay, I really want to pass the test, of course, then you have to do something. And I think this is a really great goal and gives a lot of motivation. About the motivation stuff, you of course also can say, okay, why am I learning this language? What's my goal? Maybe I want to do an exchange over there. Maybe I want to study there. I want to work there. I want to meet people from this country. I'm super interested in its culture and so on. This is something which you should also ask yourself. Why am I learning this language? To get motivation to also keep it up later on. All right, that's already the second step. The third step, because this is actually the step where you are actually, yeah, like starting to learn the language itself. But of course you need to find sources, because you cannot just, I don't know, Google anything and just say, okay, I want to learn German, for example, and then just study something. You have to follow a method, for example a book or videos or apps. It doesn't matter which, if you are learning well with my videos, I'm very glad, but maybe a books for some of you is better. For example, me myself, I always studied with books. For example, when I studied Chinese and prepared for my tests, I always bought the books. For example, like how to reach HSK1, HSK2, HSK3, and so on. These are like the A1 to B1 levels in Chinese. So yeah, it's just another name. And yeah, so I bought these books, and I just I just started and then just worked it through, and it really helped me so much because it was structured, it had a method behind it, and it always really helped me to pass these tests with a very high score. So search for sources, very important. Okay, so the next step is to get a foundation and learn the first vocabulary. Because, well, okay, you can study grammar as much as you want, but in the end, you really kind of need to talk and you need to be able to get a conversation done in this language. So yeah, it's not, I mean, it's not bad if you learn some grammar at first or anything, but it's, I think for me, in my opinion, the most important thing is to really learn some words so that you actually can speak this language. And it doesn't matter if you pronounce it completely wrong in the beginning, just remember the words so that we can go to the next step, that you try out what you've learned. It it doesn't have to be like a lot, you know. You can, I don't know, you can start with 50 words, then it will be 100, and so on and so on. But talk to people and really try it out what you've learned. It doesn't make sense if you just study in a book. You know, I know someone who really knows German so well, like she studied for many years, but she can barely speak fluently. And I'm I'm so shocked. I'm really so shocked because I saw the text she understands, and you know, it's crazy. So really, talk all the time. Talk to people, annoy them with your German. It doesn't matter. Every German will be happy if someone learns German. Maybe some Germans are grumpy, yes, that's true, but I think most of the Germans are very happy if some foreigners really try to learn German. So just contact them, don't hesitate, don't be afraid. And yeah, and if you don't know with whom you should practice, then just contact me, you know. It's you can write me and then we can practice it together, and it's no problem. So try out what you've learned. Just get a foundation, then try out what you've learned and talk to native speakers or to people who are almost like native speakers. You know, in many countries, like in Russia, for example, there are like cultural houses, or I don't know how to call them, like institutions, where you can just apply for. Like in any country, there's a Goethe Institute, for example, from Germany, where you can just get some German courses, where you also can do this language test and so on. And maybe there you also can find people to practice with. Maybe there are some Germans in your country which are, I don't know, doing an internship or something, and maybe they want to learn your language, and then you can do some kind of a language exchange. Maybe you can find just some people online and talk to them, and I don't know, just write with them, chat with them, and the best thing is talk to them, make video messages, send video messages or voice messages or something like that. This would be really helpful to learn the language. Okay, so after you improved your listening and your speaking, which you're doing, if you're like, for example, calling with native speakers, or if you talk to them in these cultural institutions in your country, after you've done that, you can start to write letters and read text, because, of course, you also want to read, you want to be able to understand maybe books written in a foreign language. And maybe you want to also write letters to your friends, or maybe you need to write some recommendation letters later on, or maybe some motivation letters for your next job. Who knows? And so you also should try to focus on it quite early on. For me, in my personal opinion, it's not as important as talking, because, you know, if you want to apply for a job or a study place, I don't know, in the country of your choice, they always want you to speak with them. They always will invite you, and then you have to talk. And well, in Germany, it's like that, for example. Of course, in the very beginning, you have to write a motivational letter, but well, it's not that difficult because you have a lot of time for it. You can ask maybe a native speaker for support, and yeah, but they really will check your level of language, yeah, with speaking, and then that's the decisive one where they will decide who will they take for a place to study or a place to work, because they want to get to know you, and they want to know if you really can fit in the society, if you really know the language well. All right. So if you already found sources, if you already have a foundation of vocabulary, if you already practice a lot with native speakers, and if you even start to write and read a little text, then I think you're ready for your first exam, for your first language test. So you can register for it online, or yeah, you can just go to these cultural institutions. As I said, there are many language tests offered. And yeah, you definitely should do that because, as I said before, there's a goal. You should set a goal, and when your goal is to pass this language test, then you definitely should do that. And as I said before, it doesn't matter if it's after 3 months, 6 months, or a year. It also depends on how much time you have. But yeah, do it. Really, it will help you a lot to study this language and to also yeah, get to know it well and get some motivation, of course. After you passed your first language test, you can or you should definitely do an exchange. I know not everyone has these possibilities, but you know, these cultural institutions I'm talking about, they many times they're offering like some kind of scholarships or something like that, with which you can use to go abroad and to go to another country, maybe to work as a teacher for some months, maybe to go to a language school, summer school. It doesn't matter, but if you pass this kind of language test, then you have a lot of opportunities and possibilities. For example, when I passed the second Chinese test, which is not a really high level, it's like A2, then the director of the Confucius Institute in my town, in my city, came to me and said, you know, your score result was so well. If you do the same, if you have the same score result at B1, then we can offer you to go 1 year to China for free. And I was like, what? Really? I just studied this language by myself. I didn't visit any courses or something. I just wanted to pass the test for myself. And they were surprised, and I was surprised. And now I know that there are so many possibilities. I actually did some research about it. And in every country, they have this kind of, I don't know, exchange. And you always need to have some kind of result. You always have to show a result of your language tests and need to prove your language skills. So do it, and after that you will have a lot of possibilities of also to go abroad. And the last thing is, when you reach the level B1, which I would think is the best level to reach at first, because after that you don't forget this language, and you actually are able to have a normal conversation with a native speaker, and you're also able to work in this country where you want to go. If you reach this level, B1, then you can start to learn a new language. That's also another very important stuff. Maybe I know many people want to learn many languages because you have maybe many friends from different countries, but learn one language at a time. It doesn't make sense if you learn, I don't know, 3 or 4 languages at a time, because it's just too much work and your brain will be confused and it will be too much, and then you will give up. Maybe. I mean, if you're super smart, then okay, do it. Okay, no problem. But if you're normal like me, then just do it step by step. And if you reached B1, just then start a new language, because then you even won't forget the other languages. And I don't know, your brain always got used to this new language, and you won't mess it up with with something else. All right, I think that's about what I wanted to tell you. To the end, I will read all the stuff in German now, just for listening practice, if you already know some German. Okay, the first thing I want to learn a new language in German would be, ich möchte eine neue Sprache lernen. Okay, a little slower. Ich möchte eine neue Sprache lernen. Next one. Set a goal and get motivation. Ziel aufstellen. Motivation aufbauen. Next one. Nach Quellen suchen. ZB zum Beispiel Bücher, Videos oder Apps. Next one. Eine Basis schaffen. Die ersten Vokabeln lernen. Get a foundation, learn the first vocabulary. Next one. Wenden Sie das Gelernte an. I just used like the respectful form here, Sie. You also can say you, like du in German. It doesn't matter. Sprechen Sie mit Muttersprachlern. Next one. Schreiben Sie Briefe und fangen Sie an, Texte zu lesen. Next one. Melden Sie sich für Ihren ersten Sprachtest an. Next one. Machen Sie einen Austausch. Next one. Wenn Sie das Niveau B1 erreicht haben, können Sie eine neue Sprache lernen. Alright, I hope I didn't forget anything. If you have any questions, please contact me. Just write in the comments or write me an email. It doesn't matter what. I will be always happy to answer your questions. So thank you very much and see you next time. Bye bye.